Practicing the Noble Eightfold Path is the highest path. The Four Noble Truths are the true footprints. Not falling into lustful conduct is the highest practice. Offering a lamp brings the gift of sight. The right path is not far away. To think rightly, to speak rightly, and to act rightly, to move one step at a time in the right direction is the surest way. A life that is not swept away by desire, but instead guards itself, is also the most precious practice. And even a single small lamp, when lit for the sake of others, will in the end brighten one's own life as well. A mind that seeks to illuminate others becomes the wisdom that illuminates oneself. Today, through one small act of kindness, try to brighten someone's day. That warmth will return to you. This path need no longer be feared. Seeing what is pure, one rises above worldly affairs. This indeed can defeat the hosts of Māra. If practiced diligently, false suffering will disappear. One who walks the right path gradually becomes less afraid. As the mind becomes clearer, it is less shaken by the world's desires and worries. What troubles our mind may not be what is outside, but the inner enemies, such as greed and anger. But if we continue with right thought and right action, that suffering will gradually lose its strength. Even if the path seems long, it surely opens. To the one who walks it step by step, today is well. Do not give up. Take one step on the right path of the heart. Steadiness, in the end, brings peace to the mind. I have already opened the right path and lit a great and shining lamp. Having heard this, you must practice it yourself. If you practice, all false bonds will be released. Knowing the path and walking the path are not the same, no matter how bright the teaching may be. If you do not practice it yourself, your life will not change. The lamp is already lit, but to walk by its light is each person's own task. When you begin to practice, even one small thing, the habits and attachments that bind your mind begin to loosen little by little. Change does not begin when you know, but when you act. Today, try quietly practicing one good thing you already know. That practice will set your mind free. I have already taught you the Dharma. You should strive diligently by yourselves. If you receive the teaching and practice it, you will not be struck by the poison arrow of craving, no matter how good the teaching may be. No one else can live your life for you. The path can be shown, but walking it depends on each person's own effort. When the mind becomes careless, greed and attachment can return at any time. But if you watch your mind and continue to live rightly, you will not be deeply wounded by those attachments. Diligence is not something special. It is the work of setting your mind right. Each day, today is well. Trust yourself and continue with one small effort. A steady mind protects itself. All things of birth and death are impermanent and filled with suffering. To see this clearly is called wisdom. If you wish to leave all suffering behind, practice the way and let go of all attachments. Everything changes. Joy and sorrow, meetings and partings, nothing remains forever. To truly understand this impermanence is the beginning of wisdom. The more we try to hold on to what is changing, the greater the suffering of the mind becomes. But when we let go of attachment and follow the right path, the mind gradually becomes lighter. As much as we let go, freedom grows. Today, take a quiet moment to reflect on what you are tightly holding on to. The moment you let go, the mind becomes more at peace. All things of birth and death are impermanent and empty. To see this clearly is called wisdom. If you wish to leave all suffering behind, strive diligently and practice the way. Many things we experience in life feel as if they will last forever, but they all stay only for a moment and pass away. Emptiness does not mean that nothing exists. It means there is nothing we can truly hold on to. The more deeply we understand this, the less attachment remains, and the mind becomes lighter. If we wish to be free from suffering, thinking alone is not enough. When we practice the right path, steadily, even in small ways, the mind gradually becomes free. Today, without rushing, try practicing even one thing with a right and sincere heart. Steadiness, in the end, brings light to the mind. All things of birth and death have no fixed self. One who realizes this through wisdom does not truly suffer from affliction and purifies the traces of every action. Much of the suffering we experience begins from the thought of mind, but everything arises through causes and conditions and disappears through causes and conditions. When we understand this principle, attachment decreases, and the pain in the mind gradually becomes weaker. A wise person observes their own mind at every moment and tries to live cleanly, as if leaving no trace behind, not remaining in yesterday's regrets, but keeping today's mind clear. This is the path of practice. Today, rather than dwelling on the past, try to focus on keeping your present mind clear. A clear mind can change the whole day. One who does not rise when it is time to rise, who trusts in youth and falls into laziness, whose will and thoughts are weak, will always wander in the darkness. You may have known what needed to be done, and still put it off when we think we have plenty of time, and choose present comfort instead. Opportunities quietly pass us by. Youth, health, and time do not wait forever. The weaker the mind becomes, the easier it is to lose the direction of life. But the very moment you think it is late is also the moment you can begin again. One small decision can become the first step out of the darkness. Today, try starting even one small task you have been putting off. One step taken today can brighten tomorrow. To guard one's speech, to discipline one's mind, and to refrain from doing evil with the body. If these three actions are purified, one is already on the path to awakening. Our lives are shaped by our words, our thoughts, and our actions, making an effort to reduce harsh words, to not let the mind wander carelessly, and to keep our actions upright. As these three become clearer, our life also becomes clearer. Great awakening may not be something far away. It may begin from setting these three things right. If even once a day we think before we speak and reflect before we act, the mind gradually begins to change. Today, may you try to watch one word, one thought, and one action a little more carefully. That small effort will bring light to your mind. If the mind is well guided, wisdom arises. If the mind is scattered, wisdom fades away. Knowing clearly these two paths, one who follows wisdom will attain the way. Our mind never stays in one place for long. It easily trembles and drifts away. When the mind becomes still, the wisdom to see things as they truly are appears. When the mind becomes disturbed, that wisdom also grows dim. The path toward wisdom and the path toward ignorance are not far away. They both exist within our own mind right now. To notice the scattered mind and gently gather it back again. This is the beginning of practice. Today, even for a short moment, may you quiet your mind and take time to reflect on your thoughts. From a peaceful mind, wisdom quietly grows. Even if a tree is cut down, if its root is not removed, the root remains and the tree will grow again. Only when the root is cut can the tree truly fall. Thus, a bhikkhu attains nirvana, even if a tree is cut on the outside. If the root remains, it will grow again. Our afflictions are the same. If we only try to remove the problems that appear on the surface, their causes remain and arise again. The roots of anger, greed, and attachment must be clearly seen and understood, not the outer appearance. But when we look into the causes within the mind, true change finally begins. Today, take a moment to look back at one small attachment remaining in your heart. When we recognize the root, the mind becomes lighter if the tree is not completely cut down. Relatives love and long for one another, and with hearts of attachment, they bind themselves, just like a calf that searches for its mother's milk. People live while loving one another, but when that love becomes excessive, it can turn into attachment. A mind that cannot let go can become another rope that binds us. A caring heart and an attached heart may look very similar, but they are different. Caring brings comfort to one another, but attachment brings suffering. Today, take a quiet moment to reflect on whether the love in your heart has become attachment from a mind that knows how to let go. True peace begins. Just as one plucks a lotus from an autumn pond, cast away attachment for your own sake. Erase the traces and seek the path. The path to nirvana was taught by the Buddha. When autumn comes, the lotus quietly withers and naturally lets go of its form. In the same way, we too need to slowly let go of the attachments in our hearts. To let go is not to lose something, but perhaps to become lighter. The more we cling, the heavier the mind becomes. The more we release, the freer the mind becomes. Today, try letting go of just one thing you have been holding on to from the place where we envy ourselves. Peace begins. Here I will live during the rainy season. Here I will live during the winter. Thinking in this way, the foolish do not realize the coming of death. People always live making plans for the future. I will live here for a long time. Later I will live like this. So they speak about tomorrow. But life does not always flow according to our plans. It is easy to live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, but the time given to us may be only today. That is why it is important to live this very moment with care. Today, do not let the day pass by as something ordinary, but cherish this present moment. A day lived with awareness creates a precious life. While a man raises his wife and children, he does not see the many laws of illness and suffering, yet death suddenly comes before his eyes. Like a flood sweeping away a sleeping village, people work hard for the sake of their families, yet it is easy to forget the impermanence of life. Illness, aging, and death may come at any time, but we often live as if we will live forever. To understand that life is limited is not meant to make us afraid, but to help us live better, so that we may cherish the people beside us more and live this very moment with greater sincerity. Today, take a quiet moment to feel gratitude for the things you once took for granted. An awakened mind makes life deeper and more meaningful. At that moment, even parents cannot save you. So what could you expect from other relatives? To rely on loved ones at the end of life is like a blind man guarding a lamp. No matter how close our family may be, there are things no one can do for us when it comes to life and death. In the end, our life must be lived by ourselves, and the light of our mind must also be kindled by ourselves, rather than depending on others. It may be more important to firmly establish our own mind, to reflect on ourselves, and to illuminate our own heart. That becomes our true support. Today, instead of leaning on others, take some time to steady your own mind. A mind that is lit by itself becomes the most reliable lamp. The wise understand this truth. Diligently cultivate discipline, practice wholesome deeds, cross beyond this world, and leave all suffering behind. The wise person clearly understands that life is always changing, and that suffering may follow. So they do not let their mind become careless, but discipline themselves and try to live a righteous life. One small good deed, one right thought, can slowly change a life. Not something extraordinary, but the small daily practices make the mind strong and steady. Today, try to practice even one small act of kindness and take a moment to clear and brighten your mind.